Josh, first and foremost, it's the first time chatting. Welcome back to Yeovil Town. How's it felt over the last few weeks?
Yeah, it's been a good few weeks. Up and down with the results, a couple of good results, a couple of bad ones. But it feels good to be sort of settled in. Met everyone at the club now, so yeah, I can sort of really crack on.
We'll talk about the form at the moment and the upcoming games in a moment. But I just wanted to touch on your youth and growing up here in Yeovil. What are your first memories of Hewish Park?
Yeah, so I sort of grown up. I was born in Yeovil. Sort of grew up in Shaftesbury, Gillingham area. But yeah, I used to come to Hewish Park quite a bit with my friends. Did a few sort of, from memory, sort of like school camps, sort of summer camps here. And then obviously moved to Southampton, so I haven't been back this way for a few years. So it's changed, quite a lot from memory.
Does it feel like a bit of a homecoming?
Yeah, you know what, like just because I know the area so well. So yeah, it was a weird one. I spent a bit of time sort of around the area, just sort of trying to sort of gauge, from memory everything. But yeah, it was a bit of a weird one coming back, just because I remember it so well.
We obviously had Michael Smith coming down from the top level of Scottish football to play here.
Mm-hmm.
You've done the same. What was it about Yeovil that helped you make the decision to come here?
Yeah, so I came down earlier on in the week from when I actually signed. Had a good sort of chat with the manager, the staff, spoke to a few of the players, and just I watched one of their sessions, and I was really impressed with what the manager wants, the style of football that he wants to implement into the games, and the standard as well. We got a very good team, some really good players, and I think we can actually achieve good things this season.
I mean, you play at the highest level when it comes to Scottish football. What are the big differences now playing in the National League?
Like I say, the standard is better, much better than what people I think probably imagine. Some very good players in this league, in our team as well, and also so the football itself isn't much different, to be honest. We play good football here at Yeovil, and that was one of the big things for why I wanted to come here. I think that the football and the way I want to play football align, which was a big decision why I chose to come to Yeovil.
Talk to us about your football philosophy then, in terms of the way you like to play football and the tactics that you like to see drawn up. What do you enjoy about the game?
Yeah, obviously I'm not a massive, physically a big player, so obviously I want the ball at my feet. I want to pass, move, create chances that way. Obviously with my agility and my speed. So yeah, and the manager sort of said to me, the position that he could see me playing, and the role that he wants me to play, and it's one that I enjoy doing. So yeah, it kind of worked out well. Obviously, location-wise, family and that kind of thing, obviously, is a big part. Obviously, moving from the top of Scotland all the way back home was a big factor. But also as well, like I say, the manager, for what he wants to do in the football side of it, was also a massive factor.
Making your debut, obviously, when the season's already started, does that make any difference in terms of coming into a team that is quite established already? Will you still feel really welcome? I mean, would it take a little while for you to find the groove?
Yeah, so I didn't really have a pre-season at all. Obviously I left Ross County, and then I came home and was sort of weighing up my options in terms of clubs and that kind of thing. So I actually had a long break off over the summer, which was nice to spend with family, but on the flip side of it, I wasn't training, I wasn't involved in a club, so I was kind of quite far behind for when I had signed. Obviously didn't have any sort of pre-season minutes under my belt, any training, so kind of been thrown in the deep end in that way, but it's a good thing though, because the only way to get match fitness is to play games. Obviously the manager was also aware of that, and he sort of said, look, we're not going to be able to chuck you in for 90 minutes straight from the get-go, so that was already a planned out thing. So I'm kind of finding my feet now. I'm still not 100% fully fit or match fit, and it's only going to get better for the games I'm going to play in. So yeah, obviously it's difficult coming in later on, but the boys have been fantastic. I know a couple of them. I know Michael Smith from playing against him, Matt Worthington from sort of the youth football. So I know a couple of faces, sort of familiar faces, but the boys have been brilliant with me.
I imagine it's quite nice to not be playing against Michael and being on the same team as him.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy playing against him. He was at a very good club in Hearts. But yeah, he's a fantastic player and a fantastic professional.
Let's talk about this season so far then, because it is a difficult stand at the National League and you're going to be tested every single game. What was the changing room like after the Rochdale match? Because it felt like it was going to end as a 0-0 game. It didn't feel like a 1-0 result. Is that how you guys felt afterwards?
Yeah, I think we were just disappointed, you know, the fact that we lost it so late on. As you just touched on there, it's a difficult league, and it's one where home matches are so important to, you know, pick up results, and to lose it right at the death was disappointing. And they're the sort of results you need to be picking up a draw at least if you want to do well this year. It's a tough league, everyone can beat everyone, and home form's massive. But we were disappointed not to get 3 points, to be honest. We weren't looking at it as a point drop. We think it was 3 points drop, really, because we had some big chances, especially first half, that we should have been more ruthless. But it just sort of shows where we are at as a club in terms of the ambition. Really, the losses of the season, we could have won, you know, in every single one of the matches. We felt like we disappointed goals conceded, but we've been creating a lot of chances, which is a good thing. We're not in a team where there's a complete lack of, you know, any threat up front. We're creating a lot of chances. We just got to put the ball in the back of the net, which obviously is the hardest thing in football, and stop giving away the sloppy goals in the manner that we are. But we're working on it in training, and you know, fingers crossed we can put it right on Saturday.
Boston, the next away trip. You would have said before Bank Holiday Monday, actually, Yeovil would have been out and out favourites, but they picked up a really, really good win against York.
Yeah.
What do you know about them as a club?
Not much, to be honest, but like you say, judging on form, you would have backed us. But again, this league is really difficult, and it just shows that everyone can beat everyone. So you got to be on your top form in every match and not lose concentration, because that's obviously when you lose goals, like we did the weekend. Against Rochdale. And so we're not going to go into that game thinking that we've won already. We need to do everything right and put in a good performance, stay concentrated for the full match, and hopefully we can get the 3 points.
Have you set yourself any personal goals for this season?
Yeah, I have. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I mean, I want to be scoring goals, I want to be creating chances and assists. But yeah, I would like to score a few goals and just help Yeovil in general. To win 3 points in whatever match it is and achieve good things with the club.
Somewhere at the back of your brain there's a tally sheet though.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
And lastly, obviously, being away for such a long time and spending all of your career so far away from the county you grew up in, what's been really nice about coming back to Somerset away from the footballing side of things?
Outside of football, obviously, family-wise, I got two young boys, so a young family, and we had a great time up in Scotland, but it was difficult, you know, in terms of being away from family and friends. Didn't really have that support network there, and we just felt like it was the right time to come back home. And yeah, it's nice to sort of have friends and family close by, and also they get to come watch me play, which is a big thing for them. My friends and family never really came up to watch any of the games, so they've already been to a couple of the matches already. So it's just nice to have that, you know, support network there, and a few familiar faces.
Your boys didn't believe you were a footballer?
No, they only seen it on telly. But no, it's nice for them to come and watch.
Well, welcome back to Somerset.
Thank you very much.
Good luck for the weekend.
Josh, it's great to speak to you. How have you found your first couple of weeks sort of settling in? Has it been easy, and I assume everyone's made you feel welcome?
Yeah, like I say, it's been a long couple of weeks in terms of travelling, and we've been up and down the country, but it's been good, and the boys have been really good with me, yeah.
And you mentioned as well previously about sort of coming to Huish Park when you were younger. Have you got any fond memories in particular? Is there a match that stands out to you, or any players that you sort of admired when you were younger?
I mean, I don't remember any matches in particular. I remember the season, obviously, get promoted into the Championship, sort of like Paddy Madden and that kind of team. But like I said, that was a long time ago, and sort of vague in my memory. But I know the stadium very well, and yeah.
Obviously, you've come down from Scotland, and last season it was quite sort of a big point of you scored the goal against Rangers that handed Celtic the title. How was it to score such an important goal and basically put your name in history for all the right and wrong reasons, depending on how you see it?
Yeah, it was. I think it's the first time Ross County had ever beaten Rangers as well, so it was a massive win for the club. And yeah, I mean, you kind of you don't think about that kind of thing at the time, and it was a really good win, an important win, because we were sort of in and around the bottom two, so we kept ourselves in the league, But yeah, it was a good day out for the Ross County fans, and probably not quite good for the Rangers fans.
And obviously, you come down from the Scottish League as well. How have you found the difference in quality so far? I mean, we had Michael Smith join us from Scotland as well last season. Have you noticed any big changes in particular physicality or speed?
Not massively, to be honest. I think the big thing with the Scottish League is obviously it's a lot less teams, and you got obviously Celtic and Rangers who are unbelievable in terms of the quality they've got. But it's such a vast mix of teams up there in Scotland. So one week you're playing Celtic, and the next week you're playing sort of against say St Johnstone, for example. So the mix of teams is massive compared to, I think, in our league it's everyone, like I say, can beat everyone. I know previously you've had Wrexham and Chesterfield and sort of big teams in the league, but I feel like this year it's quite close in terms of a lot of teams. Anyone can sort of be up and around the top. So I'd say it's just more. It's just closer in terms of the ability of all the teams.
And obviously, you're not young, but you're not old. I mean, you've got a ton of experience at higher levels as well. Do you feel you're almost obligated to bring a leadership role in sort of an attacking sense alongside maybe someone like Frank? So, Jordan Young and Dylan Morgan have never really stepped outside of non-league football. Do you feel you're almost obligated to tutor them and lead them along the way?
Yeah, I think, but then also likewise they've had a lot of experience in this league, so you bring different things to the table. I'm not one to sort of shout and lead in that way, but I'd like to say that I'd like to lead in the way I play football or on the pitch, I'd say. But to be honest, like Frank and they got massive amount of experience, and so I mean, to be honest, it's one of them where everyone needs to lead or bring something to the table in their own manner. And but yeah, I found that the boys who are already at the club bringing a lot to the table.
And finally, I mean, you were playing on a Tuesday night where 3 goals went in against Ebbsfleet United. How desperate are you to get your first goal after experiencing the atmosphere that's built on that Thatcher's Terrace?
Yeah, one thing I found is that the home support is massive. Really, really good support, and even obviously the travelling fans. Obviously, we've been up and down the country, so fair play to the fans. They really do travel well, and like I said, that the home support's really good. So it'd be really nice to get my first home goal in front of the fans.
Awesome. Cheers, Josh.
Cheers, mate.